Alright everyone, how are we doing? Just a quiet Monday. How are the heads today, everyone? Mine is kind of okay. The voice, it's been better. It's also been worse after big games, so I can't complain too much. What about you? As I said in the reaction yesterday, just totally drained after that match. Personally, I'm feeling a good bit more alive today and just buzzing with how yesterday went. How good is the feeling, right? When you wake up the morning after the day before, and the day before being a major Celtic result, and you wake up and that moment when you remember we won that game. It's pretty magic, and we all got to experience that this morning. If you have been to sleep, of course. Maybe there's some people who are still up partying. Well, maybe come back and watch this video at another stage if that is the case. For everyone else, tune in, settle yourself down, pour a cuppa if you still do that kind of thing, because we're going to chat about yesterday. We've got loads to get through as well. I've got chat about fan displays. We can chat generally about the game, what it means going forward, best photos from the day. I've even got some videos I want to show you as well. We'll have a blast. Just quickly, while I've got your attention, this book, my book that I've written, Never Stop, How Ange Postecoglou Brought the Fire Back to Celtic, is now available to buy in Waterstones stores throughout Scotland. I've been into at least 4 to see if they're stocking it, and they all have so far. Even if they don't have it on display, I do believe they all have copies in the back room somewhere. So effectively, although the release date isn't until I think March the 13th, which is a couple of weeks away, you can get your hands on this book right now by going into Waterstones if you live in Scotland. So yeah, why not? I mean, it seems like the perfect time to do it. Yesterday's game isn't included in the book. That'd be pretty amazing if it was, but we do cover all of Ange's first season, and then all the way up to the Champions League this season as well. So there's loads to get into, and even though, as I say, yesterday and some more recent matches aren't covered in the book, it's all very relevant still. I mean, there's chapters on Ange as a person, a manager, his methods that are just as relevant now as they were when I wrote it. So yeah, you can get that now. We are going to chat though about yesterday and Celtic's win over Rangers in the final of the League Cup. You kind of come home and you go on Twitter and you go on forums and maybe a certain club's forums and have a wee laugh about all that, and then you rewatch the game, or at least I rewatched the game, and I feel like you just get a much better, more balanced view on what actually happened in the game when you rewatch it on television with the analysis and all of the different camera angles. I think watching it live at the time, if you're at Hampden, a mixture of the overwhelming nerves and also the horrific view that I had certainly at the game yesterday means that you really don't get much of a kind of feel for the game really at all. It's just like a bit of a blur. And I must say, after rewatching the game this morning, and I really enjoyed that by the way, I think Celtic played really, really well yesterday. I think you look at the 16 players who featured for us throughout the match, and I think you can make a case for all of them to be getting pass marks from that game. I don't think there was like one player you would look at and say, you know, they were really below par. There was maybe players who didn't play like their best games of their careers. I mean, Jota was maybe a little bit quieter, for example. But I just think looking throughout that team, everyone offered something to the result, whether it be starting a match, coming on as a sub, and even like new guys like Iwata and and if you want to include Haksabanovic in there, just really came on and offered us something off the bench at a really important time. So I just love this team, and I thought it was absolutely magic. I'm not sure really where to start this video. I'm just kind of realising that now. Maybe we could start with a video that Celtic put up earlier today. It's 7 minutes long, and it's kind of a unique angle / behind the scenes video from yesterday. It starts with the full-time whistle at Hampden. It goes through the celebrations, the trophy lift, and even for like 90 seconds at the end, it kind of takes you inside the Hampden dressing room, and it is essential viewing. It's just like one of those videos that you just watch and you just smile the whole way through, from Joe Hart mimicking Alan McGregor by punting the ball into the stand after full time that I missed at the time, to Ange's trophy lift and Jota and O dancing, and Joe Hart saying we need to learn how to celebrate better, mockingly right at the end of the video. It's essential viewing, and I'm going to stick the link in the description for you to check that out as well if you haven't already. It also reaffirms what a brilliant squad we have got. Even players who didn't feature in the match yesterday, like David Turnbull, Anthony Ralston and Yuki Kobayashi, were all kind of at the heart of the celebrations and getting really involved, and that's the way it should be. No egos in this Celtic team, or certainly no egos that have a negative effect on the squad. Everyone genuinely seems to want the best for everyone else, and that goes to the support as well. And those scenes at full time, you just wish you could like relive those scenes forever. But I guess what makes them so special is you know that it isn't always like that. We do lose games. We'll only have to look last April and losing a derby to Rangers, at Hampden. We've lost so many finals to various teams over the last 15, 20 years. When you come out on top, the feeling never gets old, even if you're winning, a couple of trophies minimum every single season, as Celtic kind of have tended to be over the last decade or so. But great stuff. So many comments that I could bring up in various interviews after the match. If I had to choose just one wee bit, it would be Joe Hart speaking to BBC Radio Scotland shortly after full time. He was asked about the relentless level of achievement that exists at Celtic at the moment, and Hart said, "It is, but it's nothing new to this football club. We are so aware that we're just playing a part in this amazing history, this amazing future. You never take for granted wearing the shirt. I never will. I don't think anyone in this team does." And again, that just seems to come from the manager. I mean, maybe in an alternative universe, if Hart had come, without Postecoglou as the manager, he would be saying similar things. But you just kind of feel like this is the kind of thing that Ange is saying regularly to the players. You are an incredible club with the most amazing history. You think of all the things that have happened in the past at Celtic Football Club, and there can't be many histories that would top it. And these players can be and are becoming part of this, and they'll be remembered forever if they can keep this up. And it's great to hear players talk like that, because I've never really heard Celtic players talk like that in the past, I don't think. I mean, you hear them saying, we know we need to win trophies at this club, but actually hearing Joe Hart saying that, we are so aware that we're just playing a part in this amazing history. It just comes from Ange, and it's amazing. They all just seem to get it. Alistair Johnson was also on fire later in the evening, as he told Celtic fans inside Celtic Park that the trophy wouldn't be our last of the season, which I'm kind of all right with him saying. He was in front of Celtic fans. Obviously, it's been filmed and got out, but confidence, I like it. Ange also addressed a crowd outside the stadium with a megaphone, once again bringing us back to like May of last year, and he finished it again with his classic "We Never Stop," which I thought was lovely as well. Seemed to be a good crowd at Celtic Park, greeting the team after the success. For any of you not at Hampden yesterday, who were perhaps watching around the world in Philadelphia, shout out to the Ploughboys, who I'm sure had a wonderful day yesterday. Melbourne, Ange's hometown, where I know we've got so many subscribers and viewers of the channel, and obviously elsewhere in Australia as well. Dublin, Belfast, or other places as well. Have a look at some of these joyous scenes from Hampden yesterday, and look out for a moment where, well, quite simply, I have my phone punched out of my hand and it rolls down about 6 or 7 rows, and you get to see the aftermath. Kind of serves me right. What made it worse was the guy who accidentally did it, basically stuck his arm up in the air and the phone went flying, is a fan of the channel, so thanks for that, mate. But yeah, no harm done at all. So yeah, a great day yesterday. Good bit of reaction on social media as well from current players. Virtually every player had something to say. I won't go through it all, but we did also have ex-players. Eric Sviatchenko I saw getting involved, Scott Sinclair, Mikael Lustig and more, all watching the game. At full time, a banner was unveiled in the Celtic end, like right on the whistle. It was actually a video I saw earlier, and it's like the full-time whistle going, and within like 2 seconds the banner is fully in place, and it was mocking another banner held up by Rangers fans in one of their recent games against Livingston. At the time, the Rangers banner read, 2 trophies in 11 years, uphold the standards that matter. And the one unveiled yesterday read, 22 trophies in 11 years, we set the standard. It was a victory for Celtic both on and off the pitch yesterday. And there are wee bonuses of beating your rivals in the final. I mean, it's more nervy. I don't think we'd all have been quite as nervous if it was like Hibs would have been playing again in the final yesterday. No disrespect to them. But when it all comes together and you're on the winning side, you have the added bonus of getting to see the fallout across the city as they come up second best again. Just like this tweet from Ibrox Chat, which I loved. By the end of this season, they likely overtake us in trebles. By the end of next season, they likely overtake us in trophies won. Just when the fans wake up and decide enough is enough. Just beautiful, beautiful viewing this morning. And yeah, as fans, just try and savour this moment. Yesterday was amazing. We have a Celtic team to be proud of there. You could work your way through the entire team. You know, the back 5, including Joe Hart, all offered something yesterday, from Taylor's assist to Alistair Johnson's, amazing performance, especially in the second half when Rangers were kind of throwing a bit more at him. I just thought he stood up and was counted. Carter Vickers with that amazing, block in the first half to deny a certain goal. Starfelt was brilliant. You go into the midfield and just a complete joy to watch those 3 players that started in the midfield yesterday. Hatate's just a complete star. Just like the ability he has on the ball and the fact that he never panics. You could kind of say the same for Callum McGregor, and I just thought McGregor once again was a standout yesterday, but you just don't even really notice it anymore because he's consistently a standout, and Aaron Moy really brought that physicality and was involved in both goals, a key part of both goals, breaking into those kind of pockets. So he was brilliant. And then the front 3 that started yesterday, Jota was a real option in the first half, probably our kind of most used option in that first half. If it wasn't him, it was probably Dyson Maeda, who just offered us so much, both with the ball and without the ball, and Kyogo, of course, as well, with those 2 goals, 2 more goals in a cup final. Incredible. And even beyond the 11 players that started, you look at the bench and players coming in and making an impact, and Iwata really offered something. Really got stuck in. I think those 2 are going to be big players between now and the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised to see either of them, start another game pretty soon. I know O's already started one. I don't think Iwata has. Haksabanovic was really lively. That's maybe the one regret from yesterday, that he didn't score that one late on when he ran through, kind of went round Goldson, and if he'd have just caressed that into the corner, we'd have had even more amazing scenes. But you can't have it all. Abada was great as well, really lively, and I thought Matt O'Reilly had a really good game when he came on, gave us exactly what we needed at that time in terms of a calm head, but also he was quite aggressive, quite strong, really held the ball in well. And you're not even mentioning some of the players who we didn't even see yesterday: Turnbull, Ralston, Kobayashi, Bernabe, Forrest didn't even make the squad. So yeah, times are good, and just savour the moment. And as always with an Ange team, the expectation is that we continue to get better. We can probably maybe start talking about the possibility of a treble. We've got the League Cup in the bag for the 7th time in the last 9 seasons, which is like an unbelievable record. You're talking like a decade almost, and we've won it 7 times, maybe 8 next year. We've got a 9-point lead in the Premiership, and the Scottish Cup to come as well. We're in the quarter-final already. Hearts away is going to be a massive, massive match for us, a really tough game. If we get past them at Tynecastle, it's going to probably be a case of beating Rangers at Hampden once again to win the Scottish Cup, whether that be in the semi-final or the final. So we may well have another major game at Hampden against Rangers to look forward to or to dread in the coming months. So it's all happening, and it's just so exciting to be part of this team, following this team. The atmosphere was amazing yesterday, and just such an amazing connection, and so much more to come from them as well. And winning is what Celtic are about. It's what Ange Postecoglou is about. We've now won 15 trophies in 6.5 seasons since the start of the 2016-2017 campaign. And when you consider that we took an entire season off from winning, it's just a remarkable record, and that could go up to 17 by the end of this season. It's certainly, you would think it would go up to at least 16. It's just a case of enjoying these amazing moments to be a Celtic fan, and well done to the Celtic women as well, by the way, on Friday beating Rangers by 3-0. So it's been an amazing weekend all round, and to cap it off, I'm going to leave you with some of the finest images from yesterday. Speak to you tomorrow.